Welcome back to the Roundball Mining Company Denver Nuggets film room. This is our first segment for the 2009-2010 season, and we're going to be taking a look at the last game between the Denver Nuggets and the Phoenix Suns, where the Nuggets utilized a scheme of switching screens to force the Suns to shoot perimeter jumpers and try to prevent them from getting easy shots in the lane. This is a dangerous tactic. You can have a lot of problems that are self-inflicted when trying this kind of a style. First of all, the bigs have to move their feet when they switch onto the guards, and second of all, your guards have to really fight in the post, and that's what we're going to start taking a look at here. You're going to see Chauncey switches onto Amari Stoudemire, and he's being physical with Amari, trying to keep him out of the lane. He does get called for the foul, but he does a good job and shows how the Nuggets guards had to play physical. Another issue when you have guards switching onto bigs is they need help in the post. Fallow's going to switch onto Amari here, and Melo's going to come over and help. And you're going to see the importance of communication as they force Amari to pass, but they both leave. Melo leaves because Aflalo switched onto when he thinks he's going to stay, and Aflalo leaves because he expected Melo to stay as the bigger player. We're going to see the Nuggets make an adjustment in the second half to avoid situations like that. In order to play a style like this, you have to trust your bigs to stay in front of the guards and not commit a lot of fouls. And on this clip, you're going to see Aflalo does a good job of cutting off Nash's penetration. Nash passes, gets the ball back, and then runs a pick and roll, and Kenyon switches over onto Nash. And here, Kenyon does a good job of keeping Nash out of the lane, forcing a pass to Amari, and that's exactly the kind of shot the Nuggets want to see the Suns take. Sticking with the theme of big men moving their feet, in this clip it's going to be Nene who switches on to Nash, and Nash does get penetration into the lane, but Nene stays close enough that when Nash goes to shoot his fadeaway jumper, he has to push back too far. It'd be too difficult of a shot. He has to dish off to Amari, and Amari makes it once again. That's a shot the Nuggets can live with. Out of the Nuggets guards, it's Ty Lawson that you would expect to have a difficult time guarding a bigger player in the post. And here he's going to get switched on to Jared Dudley, who swings around and tries to post up Lawson. Lawson fights really hard. Dudley is banging up against him, but Lawson takes advantage of a poor pass and ends up getting the steal. And once again, on the next clip here, it's once again Lawson switching onto a bigger player, and this time it's Grant Hill, not quite the post threat that Dudley is. But you see Lawson uses his body, gets good position, and forces Nash into another bad pass and another turnover. Lawson did a very good job, much better than expected, guarding bigger players. Here in the last play of the first half, the Nuggets are going to switch a couple screens and prevent Steve Nash from getting a good look. And also notice how Ty Lawson here stays with Channing Frye, making sure he doesn't get an open look off the switch. And that's pretty good defense by the Nuggets and another good example of them forcing jumpers. Now, really, it seems like this defense didn't work very well. The Suns had 60 first-half points. They had a lead going into halftime. Nash made all of his first 5 shots for 11 points, which got the Suns off to a hot start because the bigs were switching off, and he was getting that outside shot, which was what the defense was designed to do. However, the Suns scored a good amount of their points in the second quarter in transition, and the defense really was doing its job. And we see here in the second half, the Nuggets make a couple of adjustments, and it gets even tougher for the Suns to score in the half court. One of the adjustments the Nuggets made was they started pressuring Nash more full court, forcing him to exert energy to bring the ball up. Here you see Aflalo is playing Nash very tightly, and there's no screen and switch on this play, but you're going to see Nash does drive, help comes. They force the jumper, but unfortunately Melo pushes Richardson on the shot. Bad foul, but still you can see how they're still trying to force Phoenix into jumpers. The second adjustment that the Nuggets made was they had the guards start fronting the Phoenix big men in the post and counting on help to come from the backside. You're going to see once again Aflalo does a pretty good job of slowing Nash down. Nash has to pass out. Here they run the high screen and roll with the switch, and here Aflalo's fronting. They try to skip past. Melo picks it off, and now you're going to see the Nuggets did a poor job. They didn't score many points. They turned the ball over quite a bit in the second quarter. Here in the third quarter, they give Phoenix some of their own medicine, converting the turnover into a three-pointer. In this clip, you're going to see the third major adjustment that the Nuggets made in the second half with their switching defense, and that is trying to relieve the guards from having to guard the Phoenix big men in the post if at all possible. Both Chauncey and Ty Lawson had 3 first-half fouls, and that was a big issue for the Nuggets. Here you're going to see as Channing Frye goes to the post, Kenyon comes over and Chauncey switches. Melo recognizes Chauncey's now on Stoudemire, communicates with Chauncey, and they switch once again, getting the best possible matchup after the switch. Nene moves his feet, and once again, Stoudemire has a relatively tough jumper, which is what the Nuggets are looking for, and Melo's in position to get the rebound and gets fouled by Richardson. Very good defensive play, and it requires communication, and the Nuggets did a great job of that in the second half. I've written lately about how I've been disappointed in Melo's defensive effort. Here in back-to-back possessions, he shows tremendous defensive effort and does a great job. He switches on to Amari here, fronts Amari in the post. You can see how physical Amari is being, and Melo's fighting back, making sure he keeps his position. On the shot, Melo boxes out. Amari tries to throw him aside. Melo stays with it and gets the rebound. And that was a very good effort, very good defense by Carmelo. And here on the very next possession, you're going to see another great effort by Carmelo. He gets switched onto Steve Nash. And he's able to keep Nash out of the paint. He's trying to take away the jumper. He's being physical with him. Off the pass, Melo comes over, helps, and gets the steal, which leads to another transition opportunity. Back-to-back tremendous possessions by Carmelo on the defensive end. Now, we've shown clips of Afflalo and Lawson doing pretty good on defense. For some reason, George Karl felt the need to go to Anthony Carter, and Carter definitely didn't kill the Nuggets. He did a good job in here. He's holding up his end on the post, as the Nugget guard just did all night on Channing Frye, pushing him way out to the three-point line. Nene moves his feet well, and they force a turnover thanks to Carter's defensive pressure. We'll finish with a couple more examples of the Nuggets' big men moving their feet as they're switched on to Nash. Here you're going to see Kenyon's guarding Nash. The Nuggets do a good job of helping as Amari dives to the rim. Carter takes away Channing Frye's ability to shoot the three. Here Kenyon's moving his feet, staying with Nash, and he blocks a shot. It was a big defensive play at that point in the game. Of course, we have to include the key possession of the game. Nuggets up 2 points, under 30 seconds left, and Nene gets switched off onto Nash on the high screen and roll, and you're going to see Nene does a good job of trying to keep Nash out of the middle. He doesn't get a lot of help on the drive, and Nash gets to the rim, misses the shot, and it's, Suns fans probably didn't feel too good about that play, and we can see some of the Suns players and coaches' reactions here to that.
And a foul. Nash thought he was.
When we saw this in Detroit, we told you. And now a technical. That is a horrible technical.
And he's out. And Alvin Gentry has gone berserk. He's been thrown out.
And I'm going to tell you what.
Of course, Nuggets fans had a slightly different reaction to that play.
Woo! Come on! We're streaking! Come on! Come on! We're running! Come on! Woo! Woo! We're streaking! We're streaking! Woo! Woo! Come on!
I've always been very outspoken against using switching screens as your primary defensive tactic in a game. I've always thought that it led to a lack of accountability and kind of a passive defense, passive defensive effort. However, the Nuggets certainly proved me wrong when they played the Phoenix Suns. They played tremendous team defense. The guards held up their end of the bargain by playing very physical, keeping the Suns' big men out of the lane and forcing them to work hard to post up. And as well, the Nuggets' big men did a great job of moving their feet, trying to stave off any penetration from the guards. And when that happened, the Nuggets usually did help and did a good job working as a team. As I pointed out, the communication in the second half is when they started switching the guards off the big men every chance they could, went very well. And the entire plan of forcing the Suns into tough jumpers worked very well. The second quarter was the only quarter where the Suns really exploded offensively, and that was more due to the Nuggets' poor offense that resulted in missed shots and turnovers, allowing the Suns to get out in transition. And they really didn't score very many points. They definitely didn't get a lot of easy points in the half court against the Nuggets switching scheme. Very good job by the Nuggets. A very big win for them. They had to win that game coming off of 2 bad road losses, and I'm very pleased with the effort and that their scheme worked. I'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch this relatively long video of a sequence of plays from the Suns and Nuggets game. I encourage you to check out my blog at roundballminingcompany.com, a member of the ESPN True Hoop network of blogs.
Money, money, money. Take money, money, take money, money. Money, money, take money. We're going streaking! Yes! No, I'm sorry.